Today, I want to talk about how I hit 1,000 subscribers within a year. And I want to talk about some challenges that I had to overcome during that process. And I want to talk about the challenges of trying to become, I guess you could say, a podcaster, a speaker, or just a person who wants to share their philosophy, their theology, their ideas in a loud and noisy world where it's hard to gain attention. It's difficult and it's not easy. And so I want to talk about this, and hopefully, this will be something where if you're a content creator, it will actually help you. It's not exactly easy to make noise in the marketplace. Now, in the beginning, when I started this YouTube channel, I probably opened this YouTube channel, I don't know, years ago. I've had the channel for a while. I had a YouTube account for years. But I really started making videos consistently, honestly, probably last year. I mean, the year before, I started uploading videos of myself performing illusions and mentalism and stuff, and I had to have one of my friends record for me, Doozy Talks, and it was challenging because like performing illusions, you have to set up a time and a place to go somewhere out into the streets and perform, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun editing. It's a lot of fun performing, and it opened doors. You know, I got to perform at some college called Huntington University in Arizona. Um, word got around that I was doing illusions, and people connected, and next thing you know, I was at a college performing magic, and it was a lot of fun. And I was like, man, if I could make videos like that every day, that would be so ideal. But I have to go to work. And while at the same time going to work, I have to create ideas and then execute those ideas. It is not exactly easy. And so there's a lot of influencers that I listen to, podcasters, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them. It's just a bunch of labels in my mind. Content creators. I'll use the terminology for sake of conversation. I listened to a guy named Myron Golden who, when I first started watching his channel, he didn't have a big following. Now he's, I don't know, maybe he's close to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. But I remember when he didn't have that many. And he recommended a book called The YouTube Formula. The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. And I read that book in its entirety. And that book is like a blueprint on how to make noise on YouTube. Like if you're trying to gain attention on YouTube, that book right there, I highly recommend it. I might put it in the description. But what did I do? What did I do? Well, so I went from performing illusions to just speaking. And I read one of Myron Golden's books called Boss Moves. And in this book, he was talking about how that his business model, he tried to formulate his business model like King Solomon in the Bible. And I just never heard of that. I'm like, what? Business model like King Solomon? And he talked about how King Solomon charged people from other countries, kings and queens and governors and people from other countries would charge, they would pay him a yearly fee so that they can get wisdom from him. And in this book, he was talking about how the people who can get paid to communicate will get paid more than anyone else, like such as someone who's going out and doing physical labor. You know, you're over there building houses, or maybe you have some real estate company, or maybe you're whatever it is. It requires your physical body to be there and do something physical and break sweat. And he's like, how can you make a business where you get paid just to talk and just open your mouth? Well, and I thought about it, and I'm like, that's very interesting. And then, so that's what he said for himself, where he's like, I want to have a business where I don't have to do a lot. I can just talk. And the highest in this book, he was talking about how the people who get paid the most in life the most wealthy entrepreneurs, the tycoons out there, like the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates. These guys are the ideas people. They have an idea, and then they pay people to execute that idea. So they get paid the most. But then just below that would be a communicator, somebody who can have an idea and then communicate the idea. And then below that would be the people who, like managers of companies and different things, who work for the speakers, who work for the Bezoses and the Bill Gates. And so the people who do that, who have the most physical labor, the guy who's taking out the trash, the guy who's building a house with his hands, the people who do the most physical labor get paid the least. You're more likely to make a large sum of money if you're getting paid for an idea. And communication is the closest thing to an idea, because communication is like how I'm talking right now. I have an idea and I'm communicating that idea, and it gives value to the listener. And I just thought it was an interesting concept. I don't know if I explained it and give it justice. I would recommend just reading the book. It's called Boss Moves by Myron Golden. And so I took this book and I was like, you know what? Instead of me performing magic and having to go out and physically perform and have someone record and putting in that type of sweat equity, I could crank out tons and tons of content if I'm just talking, because I could just literally just turn on the camera and just start talking. But that creates a new problem. And the problem is if I'm going to just communicate, what I'm saying has to be interesting. If I'm going to just communicate, unlike magic, if I'm performing an illusion, obviously it has to be a good illusion. It can't just be some silly card trick. I do card tricks, but I have to make the card trick look so interesting that people want to watch the video through its entirety. It's not easy. It's a lot of psychology that comes into play. But being an illusionist, being someone who's performed mentalism, I understand psychology so well. And I know how to communicate as an illusionist, using my words to redirect someone's attention from one place to another so that they don't see what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on behind the curtain when I'm performing an illusion. There's a lot of psychology, and in order to really be able to market oneself, they have to understand psychology. And being someone who's good with psychology, I'm like, okay, I can speak. So with that in mind, I started podcasting, and I just started sharing some of my biblical philosophy of life. Just testing things, seeing what works and what doesn't work. I kind of had a plan, but one thing is, the people on Think Media on YouTube, I forget the guy's name, Sean Cannell or something like that, Sean something. I remember him saying that, like in the intro to a lot of his videos, he just says, you got to just press record. You can't necessarily, yes, make a plan, but you just need to hit the record button, because there's a lot that you can learn by taking action rather than sitting there planning, trying to read books, watching videos on how to have a successful podcast, YouTube channel, different things. At some point, you just have to press record. And I didn't know what to talk about, but I did know, okay, I've studied the Bible a lot because I wanted to find the answers to life. And so I just started communicating what I've learned in the Bible. And then I also like wisdom. I like to read a lot of books and find principles in books and then share those principles that I learned. It doesn't always have to be something biblical. It could be something on business or psychology or relationships, different things. I like wisdom. So I start sharing those ideas. And I would share one video and then another one. I'll make short videos and reels and YouTube shorts and TikToks. And I think I have a pretty disruptive personality, specifically in the area of spirituality, because I am not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not really I've not really been indoctrinated by a specific type of ministry or pastor or a group of people. My studies are, for the most part, completely on my own. So, and one thing I've realized is I'll tell people at church, at different churches, I'll tell them things that I study in the Bible. And I remember as a young man, especially my teenage years, whenever I would communicate what I was thinking, or I'd ask a question in the Bible that I saw something in the Bible, I ask a question. Hey, what do you think about when the Bible says this? Or what do you think? Why does the Bible say this? I thought the pastor said this, but the Bible says this. I was always curious. And my questions alone made people uncomfortable. And I watch a lot of different influencers. And they say if you could be kind of controversial, you'll definitely get views. And so I thought, am I really controversial? And then that came to my mind where I realized my personality is kind of controversial. This is just me. I'm being honest. Me just being myself, it causes disruption. And it was something that I never liked in life because it almost felt like a curse where I'm like, everywhere I go, I think different than people. And I couldn't help it. Where whenever I would talk or whenever I would share an idea or something, if someone asked me a question, I was at a Bible study, or maybe I was talking to a group of people, maybe I'm talking to a bunch of atheists, right? And these atheists are asking me questions about what I think about the Bible. And then I tell them what I think about God and the Bible. And then the atheists will look at me like, wow, you're different. And then I talk to a Muslim, and then a Muslim will say, you're not really like most Christians. Are you even a Christian? Like, you seem like you have a lot more knowledge than most Christians. I've never talked to someone like you. I talked to a pastor. A pastor would say, I feel like you know more than me. Well, I'm not going to call the specific person I'm thinking about. I'll backtrack on that. I'll backtrack on that. But I would talk to pastors, and there would be pastors who think that the way I think is a lot different than most people who claim to believe in God. Right? And this has just been something that I don't know, it's just how it's been. So I thought to myself, well, if I just communicate my ideas and what I think exactly how I think it and not filter it, I wonder if it'll get people's attention. And that's what I did last year. In the beginning of last year, I started sharing things that were really on my mind, but I wouldn't say it out loud because I knew I'd get in trouble. But I was like, let me try it. So one of those things is the video that I always tell people is I made a TikTok video and an Instagram video. I shared it on multiple platforms, and I said most Christians give bad advice. That's what I said. And I took the video down, but when I put it on TikTok, that video got 142,000 views within a short period of time. And the long form video got a lot of views on YouTube, but I took the video down. Again, remember, I'm testing things. I'm like, what gets people's attention? And now that got people's attention because that is something that I actually think. I think most Christians give bad advice. That's my opinion. That's what I think. It's not me trying to attack people. It's not me trying to attack a particular person or a pastor or a ministry or nothing. That's just what I think. And but it's an idea that was in my head that is disruptive. It made noise. It got people's attention, and a lot of people started following me. I mean, that video alone, I think, got me around 1,000 followers on TikTok, like on a brand new TikTok channel. I put a lot of videos on there, but that video alone made a lot of noise. Instagram, I think, it probably got me 13,000 views, and then YouTube, I don't remember how many views it got on YouTube, but the long form video on YouTube probably on a new channel, I don't know, a couple hundred, while other videos are getting like 50 something views, 80 views. And then this one got like a couple hundred, 300, 500. I forget how many views it got. But I took it down, and people started calling me Andrew Tate. They started calling me Black Andrew Tate, the N-word Tate. They started, because around that time, 2023 into December, and then getting into January 20, or getting into January 2023. Around, I think I posted that video, and around that time, Andrew Tate was starting to go very viral, and I had no clue who Andrew Tate even was. And people kept calling me Andrew Tate, Andrew Tate. And I would play Call of Duty on my phone. I was playing Call of Duty Mobile on my phone, and then people could see my Facebook profile picture. And I had a suit on, and I had shades, and I had some rings on my finger. And people started saying on Call of Duty Mobile, "You're the Black Andrew Tate." And so I'm like, who is this Andrew Tate guy? So I looked him up, and people were like, well, because I'm a black guy, bald head, and I like to wear glasses and wear suits. But so I was like, okay, wow, well, that's kind of advantageous, maybe. So I kind of utilized it. And then I tested a different thing. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll start doing reaction videos to whoever this Andrew Tate guy is. So I started making reaction videos. And those videos started getting tons and tons of views. And then my friend Susie from Doozy Talks, she had just started her YouTube channel as well. And I told her, I said, hey, look, here's what I would recommend. You should try to do reaction videos to this red pill, blue pill stuff, because you're a girl. And I think it'll get a lot of views. So she started doing it, and she started getting tons of views, thousands of views. And she got up to like 500 something subscribers within a short amount of time. And I decided, hey, you know what? Maybe you and I can do a video together, doing a reaction video together. And Andrew Tate had just got arrested. So we did some reaction videos together, because I'm like, if I put a girl in this video with me, reacting to Andrew Tate, I know it's going to get a lot of views. So instinctually over time, as I started making my shorts videos where I'm making my talking points on just random things on specifically the Bible, God, and then making reaction videos to red pill, blue pill content, and then adding her into the mix, I started getting tons and tons of views. Just constantly testing what works and what doesn't work. And over time, I started to see what works and what doesn't work. And for me, and so there's a kind of a conflict, because I didn't really enjoy doing the reaction videos, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to use the reaction videos just so I can get to the 1,000 subscribers. Then I'll take them down later. That was my plan, because I don't know, there's not really topics that I like to cover necessarily, but I mean, kind of, a little bit, but I didn't want that to be what my channel was all about. And so, but it worked. It made noise. But then I decided, you know what? How do I just make it to where I don't even need to do reaction videos? I could just talk. And then the other thing is my talking points on Christianity and the Bible, it made a lot of people upset, because I just say what I'm thinking. I just say it like it is. So I'm like, okay, how do I communicate these ideas in a way where it's not really going to offend people as much? I know people are going to be offended, but maybe in the tone in which I communicate might be offending people. Now, if the idea alone offends people, I don't care. But if I'm communicating in a way where it offends people, I'm thinking long term now. Once I have a following, what if one of these videos or a couple of these videos just happen to get 1 million views? And then everybody knows me as the guy who said most Christians give bad advice, right? I mean, that might be pretty off-putting and cause a lot of Christians to not like you. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. And I don't want everybody thinking that I hate, like misinterpreting that video. So I took the video down and started reassessing, replanning, but it's constant growth. I don't know if you're getting anything out of this. I'm kind of just yapping, but I'm following my line of thought right now. it was constant growth. So I decided, how do I make content that's not that offensive? A little bit edgy, but more so something that you can get value out of it, not just things that will shock people, but you can get value out of it, because there's a lot of people out there who they give very wise advice and they get tons of views. And I want things to be shareable because, okay, those videos got a lot of views, my talking points on the Bible, but and they're shareable mainly by Christians. But I'm like, how do I be so competitive? And I don't like to think in terms of competition. How do I be so competitive that I can talk about anything, and that it's not only going to become viral in the Christian religious space, but it'll become viral all around? And I know people say you have to have a niche, you have to stick to a niche. And talking about red pill, blue pill, and then talking about the Bible, those are niches that are very beneficial. So I'm still going to use those things to get garner views. But I think long term, what do I want to be known for? And I don't want to be known for the red pill, blue pill. So I'm like, well, how do you make wisdom go viral? Because I think that if people gain wisdom in life, no matter what area of life it is, whether it's God, whether it's business, whether it's relationships and marriage and how to raise children, or just daily living or peace of mind, how do you give people wisdom where it's actually interesting? Because I could sit here and just share some of my wisdom points. So hold on, let me pull up my phone. So I have a lot of like notes that I take on my phone where I may have an idea that I think is wise, and then I share that idea. So one of the videos, so I made a short video, and in this video I say, loving your enemies does not mean you let them into your house. You love them by not hating them. Meaning you recognize that they are in the wrong, but you don't judge or resent them for it, handling them accordingly. Another one I did was never try to get revenge on your enemies. I don't think I uploaded this one, but this one may be a video that I'll upload. Never try to get revenge on your enemies. Eventually their wrongdoings will catch up to them. As for you, stay focused. And then let me see another one. I say, even the least intelligent person in the room can be perceived as a wise man when he has control over his mouth and emotions. So this is something I started doing recently. I started making short videos where I just share little nice nuggets of gold, nuggets of wisdom. And it's not harmful at all, right? Anyone can listen to it. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a particular religion. This is something that is universal, that can make noise. And that one, even the least intelligent person in the room can be perceived as a wise man when he has control over his mouth and emotions. That one got 8,000 views on YouTube Shorts, and I was like, wow, okay. So this is a path that I'm going to continue going down. And it's also the tone in which I communicate, and it's completely unique, I guess I could say. And so, anyways, I got up to 1,000 subscribers making mainly short videos. And then there is a preacher that I enjoy listening to. His name is Miles Monroe. And I shared a video of his that, if you find that video on YouTube, it's difficult to find. It's like the video is cut up into different portions and you have to find it in different areas on YouTube. So I took all those videos and I put them all together, and I needed a piece of content for that day because I was trying to knock out back-to-back day-to-day content last year. And so with this specific video, I compiled these videos together, and then I made a little intro, and then I shared it on YouTube. That video, how many views did that video get? That video got, let me see here. It got me quite a bit of views, and it's probably my most successful video right now. So the title of the video is Miles Monroe, Religion versus Kingdom Sermon. It was a sermon that he preached. The average view duration of this video is 15 minutes and 57 seconds. The video is 42 minutes long. So average view duration, 15 minutes. That's pretty good. Because you could post a 2-hour video and you look at the average view duration and it'll be like 2 minutes. So getting 15 minutes, that one helped me to get to the, I was also, in order to get to 1,000 subscribers and get and monetize on YouTube, well, in order to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and then you also have to have a 4,000 hours of watch time, I believe. Yeah, something along those lines. That video, how much watch time did that video get? That video alone got me 5,200 watch time hours within the last 284 days. So it got me plenty of watch time. The video got 19,000 views. And then how many subscribers did that video alone give me? That video alone got me 342 subscribers, I believe. So got me a lot of subscribers. But I think most of my subscribers came from my shorts videos. So anyways, I learned a lot in the process. Got to the 1,000 subscribers I started January 2023, and I got up to 1,000 subscribers in January 2024. It's a process, constant trial and error. So to simplify, trial and error. Just hit record. Constantly test ideas. You know, you might upload a video and then it might get views, and then you might upload a video and then it might get a lot of views. And then you might upload a video and it gets barely any views, and then next thing you know, the algorithm kicks in and then all of a sudden it gets a lot of views. Oh, another thing is the intro to the videos. First off, the thumbnail. The thumbnail of the video, the picture, it has to be intriguing. So literally every aspect of a video has to catch someone's attention. You have to catch someone's attention, and then you have to recapture their attention repetitively. So, for example, the thumbnail of the video, that has to get attention. Has to be interesting. The title of the video has to be interesting. By the time they click on the video, the first 3 seconds of the video has to be interesting. Literally, people will click off in 3 seconds if you don't capture their attention in 3 seconds. So, in the beginning, I would put my intro to my podcast, and I saw a common theme. If I put the intro in the beginning, I would get a lot of views, but the people would drop off within 10 seconds. But if I took away the intro, the people would stay longer in the video. So I'll get more watch time in a video. And this is something that I learned in a book called Hook Point by Brendan Kane. And the book is about hooking people. It's about getting their attention right away. It's kind of like, instead of trying to go, here's an analogy on how I make my videos. An analogy would be like, instead of trying to go and hunt after a deer, going literally hunting and looking for my prey. Instead of doing that, why not go fishing? Where I throw the bait in to the water and it draws the fish in. And then I hook them, or I catch them in a net and I reel them in, right? That's how I think about my videos. Where in the beginning, it was like forcefully trying to get attention, such as contacting people saying, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like my stuff, comment, try to get the algorithm moving. That the growth is too slow on that. I figured out a way to draw people's attention, like a billboard. Instead of being like a salesman going up to one person at a time trying to get a subscriber, I have a billboard that if you see it and you're interested, you'll check out the information. But if you're not interested, you'll just continue going on about your life, while the people that are interested will come through. And so now my marketing strategy is to draw people's attention. And I have to draw people's attention within first 3 seconds of the video. And then after I have their attention for 3 seconds, now I got to do another 3 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute. How do I hold their attention for a minute? How do you hold their attention for 15 minutes, an hour? So, for example, if you've made it this far in the video, that's exactly what I've done to you. If you clicked on this video, there was something about it that drew you in. Maybe you're already been a subscriber to me. So you're like, well, the reason why I clicked on the video is because I'm a subscriber. It's like, yeah, but how did I get you to become a subscriber? Think about it. It's all marketing. Even if I got you as a subscriber by accident, I could look at, okay, what did I do there to get this person to subscribe to my channel? What did I do there? Even if I didn't know, even if I got 1 million views on a video by accident, I can study the video, study everything that I did by accident and say, how can I repeat that thing that I just did? Maybe it's a trending topic. Maybe I got in early. Maybe it's a topic that's not trending at all. But there are people who are searching for this specific topic, and there's not a lot of videos made on this specific topic. And so with me, knowing that I kind of have a disruptive personality because I think differently, I know that a lot of people are going to listen to me simply because I don't use Christian lingo when I talk, unless I'm in an environment where there's a lot of Christians, because I don't want to shut people off to my ideas. So when I talk, I just sound like a regular person, relatable. I don't use any cuss words. So that's kind of a giveaway where you'd be like, okay, this guy probably, maybe that's part of his morality. He doesn't believe in cussing. Okay. So that might be an indicator that this guy believes in Jesus. But then other things would be like quoting a Bible verse in like every other sentence. So I decide I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk. This is some of the things that I have done to try to better my videos and to get better at communicating. And now, with that in mind, I know that there's people going to say, well, okay, brother, the Bible, the gospel is offensive. It offends people. Why would you try to water down the gospel? It's like, no, it's not about trying to water down the gospel. It's about learning how to communicate in a way that not everybody is ready to hear your every thought and opinion. Some people are very, 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 very sensitive, and they've had a bad experience with other people who believe in God. And so if I just become another talking point that is very harsh with my words and it turns people off, I want that information to be digestible. But I'm not going to do what most Christians do, where they get on the microphone and then they just start saying, oh, you people are crazy. You're all sinners. There's literally a guy on YouTube who he yells at people and calls them sinners. I'm like, how do you make people even interested in knowing about God if you're just shouting at them? I'm not going to get into all that. That's a whole nother debate. I've learned how to communicate in a way that is digestible for people, but also is a little bit controversial. Because if you're too controversial, everyone will hate you. But if you're too family friendly, people are going to think you're fake and something's wrong with you. So there's a balance. Now, I don't think that I have found the perfect balance. Like I said, I'm constantly testing. It's constant trial and error. It's constant improvement, right? So with that in mind, cool. That's how I have got to 1,000 subscribers and continuing. And now I think I set the goal too small. My goal was to get 1,000 subscribers within a year, and I hit that exact target almost to the day. What if I would have set it to a million subscribers within a year? But I hit that target. That's the next goal. 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. All right, y'all. So I hope that gives value to you. I hope that helps out and to give you some perspective on what it's like to be a person who is now a podcast host, to share your ideas and what it's like to be a little bit controversial. Yeah, it's a challenge. It really is. And I'm trying to get better at it. I don't think I found the perfect system, but I guess that's kind of the point of growth. All right, y'all. So, anyways, if you find any value in that video, subscribe to the Creed Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share me your thoughts. And for the people out there who have watched my content before and you have a lot of disagreements with things that I say, great, cool. It's all good. I have no problems with disagreements. But what I would say is this. I challenge you, why don't you try to start your own YouTube channel? If you think your opinion is so valuable, why don't you try to make content yourself and see how difficult it is to get into this space. It's not easy, especially when you share your thoughts and your ideas, but then people ask you questions and then you try to answer those questions. And then those answers to those questions create new problems that need to have new answers. It's not easy, y'all. So, all right, y'all. God bless. Subscribe. Pretty soon I'm going to be starting doing Bible studies. I hope that works out. I'm going to test it, see if that works. I want to start doing Bible studies and stuff. Yeah. Have a good one.